Welcome to Maths and Science by IITian channel. In this lecture, I will be taking up very important topic of hyperbolic functions in complex numbers. We have to find out in this particular example or practice question, we have to find out the sum of I to the power of I plus I to the power of I square plus I to the power of I cube plus up to I to the power of I to the power of 2025. There are 2025 elements in this sum. We have to find out that. By using the hyperbolic functions definitions and by using the number theory congruence modulo and also by using the definition of I and using E, we will be able to find out. We can't add 2025 numbers manually and find out. Let us try to find out and solve this problem. We will be using the number theory congruence modulo. We will be using the value of I and we will be using the concept of E also and concept of hyperbolic functions. Let us try to solve it. Let's move forward. What is the question given? Question is find sum of 2025 elements such that I to the power of I plus I to the power of I square plus I to the power of I cube up to I to the power of I to the power of 2025 is equal to how much? This is what we have to find out. Now, let's start from the basics. What is I? I is equal to I. What is I square? I square is equal to minus 1. I cube is equal to minus I and I to the power of 4 is equal to 1. I to the power of 5 is equal to again I. That means for every 4 powers, the value of I is getting repeated. I to the power of 6 is equal to minus 1 and I to the power of 7 is so and so. I to the power of 8 is again 1. Now, every 4th element is getting repeated and there are 2025 elements. That means powers are 2025. I to the power of I plus I to the power of I square plus I to the power of I cube plus I to the power of I to the power of 4 plus up to I to the power of I to the power of 2025. This is what is wanted. This is sum. Now we know the values of I. Now, let us see. First we have to find out this is nothing but I to the power of I plus I to the power of minus 1 plus I to the power of minus I plus I to the power of 1. This is one set of 4. Again it gets repeated. What is I to the power of I plus I to the power of minus 1 plus I to the power of minus I plus I to the power of 1. Like this, it gets repeated and adds up to I to the power of I to the power of 2025. Now what is 2025? 2025 is equivalent to 1 mod 4. This is from the number theory. 2025 by 4 is equal to 506 plus 1 remainder. Hence, it implies 2025 is equivalent to 1 mod 4. This is what one observation we have got from number theory. Now, we have to find out what is the value of I to the power of I and I to the power of minus I and I to the power of minus 1, and I is already there. I value. I is nothing but square root of minus 1. I is equal to square root of minus 1, which we know very well. Now, you just see there is one hyperbolic function cos hyperbolic. It is not cos pi by 2. It is hyperbolic pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0, cos 90. But cos hyperbolic pi by 2 is equal to e to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2. This is a very, very important formula. Please remember it. This is the hyperbolic function. It has come from cos, we will write with some good pen, good color. Cos hyperbolic x is equal to e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by 2. This is the formula. Similarly, you write the formula for homework. I want to give you sin hyperbolic x. What is the formula? You please write. Check the standard textbooks and write it. Now, how this is related to our question? That is to be found out. How it is related to our question? We know from the logarithms and e that I to the power of I is equal to e to the power of I ln I. Do you agree? By taking logarithm on both sides, I ln I is equal to I ln I. This is very important identity. Please remember this. It comes, this type of identities do come in logarithms regularly in logarithm problems. E to the power of I ln I is equal to I to the power of I. What is ln I? Is equal to what? ln I is equal to, please write it. What is the value of ln I? Ln I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2. This is also very, very important. Concept. Please follow me. Which implies I to the power of I is equal to e to the power of I into here. Let us define certain important identities where we know that I have already explained you in my complex numbers lectures. Please refer to them. E to the power of ix is equal to cos x plus I sin x. If x is equal to pi by 2, what happens? E to the power of I pi by 2 is equal to cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. What is the value of cos pi by 2? That is equal to 0. What is the value of sin pi by 2? That is equal to 1. 0 plus I into 1, that is equal to I. That means I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2. Do you agree? This is a very important identity which you have to understand well. Now, then it implies, what is I to the power of I then? We will keep I here same and we will write I value as I to the power of I is equal to I to the power of I can be written as another important identity of logarithms. Please try to understand. E to the power of I log I or I ln I. Do you agree to it? Two identities. One is logarithmic identity, very important identity we have defined here. I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2 and I to the power of I is equal to e to the power of I ln I. These two are very, very important identities because if you take logarithm on both sides, I ln I on left hand side, if you take the logarithm I ln e to the base e, that is equal to I ln I. If you take logarithm on both sides of this equation, left hand side is equal to right hand side. That means I to the power of I is equal to e to the power of I ln I and where I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2. Now we will club these two both and let us try to find out what is the value of I to the power of I. I to the power of I is equal to e to the power of I into ln I. From this, what is the value of ln I? I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2. E to the power of I into ln I is I pi by 2. Because, what is the reason? I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2. By taking log on both sides, natural log, ln I is equal to I pi by 2 into ln e to the base e, that is equal to I pi by 2. Are you able to follow? Ln I is equal to I pi by 2. This is another identity. We are only just playing with the definition of I, definition of E and definition of natural logarithm. Okay? Now, what is the value of I to the power of I then? E to the power of I into I pi by 2. That is equal to e to the power of minus pi by 2. E value you know, pi by 2 value you know, then this is a real number. Very important deduction from this. Now, what will be the value of I to the power of minus I then? Plus just minus of this value, e to the power of minus pi by 2. That is equal to e to the power of pi by 2. Are you able to understand? Then, for 4 numbers, what we have to find out? I to the power of I, we got the value. I to the power of minus I, we got the value. 1 by I we have to find out. I and 1 by I. You just see, I to the power of minus 1 is nothing but 1 by I. 1 by I is nothing but I by I square. That is nothing but minus I. That means I to the power of minus 1 is equal to minus I. Are you able to follow? Now, the 4 numbers in the series, just see, the 4 numbers in the series, I to the power of I plus I to the power of minus I. Therefore, I to the power of I plus I to the power of minus 1 plus I to the power of minus I plus 1 is equal to plus I, is equal to I to the power of I is equal to how much? E to the power of minus pi by 2. I to the power of minus 1 is nothing but minus I. I to the power of minus I is nothing but e to the power of pi by 2 and plus I. I get cancelled. And this value will be e to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2. That means I to the power of I plus I to the power of minus 1 plus I to the power of minus I plus I is equal to e to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2. Then cos hyperbolic x we have already defined as e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by 2. E to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2 whole divided by 2 is equal to cos hyperbolic x. Then e to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2, it can be written as 2 into cos hyperbolic pi by 2. We are getting the answer in the hyperbolic functions. This is the hyperbolic function. Please remember. From the definition. We know the value. The real value is this. And in hyperbolic functions, this is the value. Now, 2025 is equivalent to 1 mod 4. That 2025 by 4 we have already seen 506 plus 1 as reminder. Hence, I to the power of I plus I to the power of I square plus I to the power of I cube plus I to the power of I to the power of 4 plus up to I to the power of 2024 plus I to the power of, I to the power of I to the power of 2024. I to the power of 2024 plus I to the power of I to the power of 2025 is equal to, this whole is nothing but 506 into I to the power of I plus I to the power of I square plus I to the power of I cube plus I to the power of I to the power of 4 plus I to the power of I. Because I to the power of I to the power of 2025. Because 2025 is equivalent to 1 mod 4, then this 506 into this plus 1 I to the power of I. Then this will be 506 into 2 cos hyperbolic pi by 2. Plus I to the power of I is nothing but e to the power of minus pi by 2. Are you able to follow? Then the sum will be 1012 cos hyperbolic pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2. This is the answer. the answer can be written like this. If it is asked in the examination like this, otherwise you can even find out the value from your online calculator, and you can see that this is approximately equal to 2539.4965. This is the answer. And greatest integer, if you want, it is 2539. And this is the answer. Cos pi by 2, we can even write it as, we can even put it this way also. If you don't want cos hyperbolic, yes, 2025 is equal to 1012 into e to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2 whole divided by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2, that is equal to 506 into e to the power of pi by 2 plus 506 into e to the power of minus 5 by 2 plus e to the power of minus 5 by 2 pi by 2. That can also be written as, yes, 2025, sum of 2025 elements will be 506 into e to the power of 5 by 2 plus 507 into e to the power of minus pi by 2. This way also you can represent the answer. Both are correct. This way also you can represent. This way also you can represent. Otherwise, if you want to calculate with the help of a calculator, if calculator is provided to you, this is the numerical value. With this, I wanted to conclude this lecture. In this lecture, we have 3-4 concepts. One is the definition of cos hyperbolic x, and another is how to get I to the power of I value in real numbers as e to the power of minus pi by 2, and I to the power of minus I is equal to e to the power of pi by 2. And also we have used the concepts of logarithms, that the even Eulers series we have taken e to the power of ix, it is the Euler series. E to the power of ix is equal to cos x plus I sin x. From that we got the value of I. E to the power of I pi by 2, I as. From that we got the value of I to the power of I. I to the power of I, we got it as I to e to the power of I into I pi by 2. Because I is nothing but I pi by 2. We got the value of I ln I is equal to I to the power of I as e to the power of I ln I, and from there we got this value. I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2, ln I is equal to I pi by 2. Ln I is equal to I pi by 2. This is very important deduction which we have got, which we have substituted here in the value of I to the power of I. And also we have used this I to the power of I is equal to e to the power of I ln I. Please see 1 or 2 times more to understand better this, and try to combine these identities ultimately we got from this value, we got all other values. From this, we got the value as I is equal to e to the power of I pi by 2 implies ln I is equal to I pi by 2. This is the most important deduction, which we have here also we have shown. That we have put it in this. I to the power of I is nothing but e to the power of I ln I. This is a very important derivation. These two are very important derivations. Now, from this, we have only solved the problem by substituting these derived values, and also we have got another definition of cos hyperbolic x e to the power of x plus e to the power of minus x by 2. And as a homework, please do from your side what is the value of sin hyperbolic x. Cos hyperbolic pi by 2 is equal to e to the power of pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2 by 2. From all this, we got the value of s is equal to sum of the 2025 terms is equal to 1012 cos hyperbolic pi by 2 plus e to the power of minus pi by 2, or 506 into e to the power of pi by 2 plus 507 e to the power of minus pi by 2, which comes to approximately to the value of 2539.4965. When the calculator is given, you go for this, otherwise you can stop your calculations till now. I want to conclude this lecture now, and thank you for listening to me. Thank you for viewing this lecture, and if there is a value addition because of this lecture to you, kindly hype this lecture, share this lecture, and subscribe to my channel Maths and Science by IITian. Best of luck to everybody. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.